The striker position is probably the position that most players want to play in, but there is an art to it and there are many things you need to develop and understand to play this position well. So in this video, we're going over how to be a striker in soccer. That's coming up next. When I'm busy doing totally legitimate things, I rely on OneFootball to give me all the news stories, fixtures, results, and more from the world of football. Download it for free today. What's up, guys? If you're new to the channel, my name is Dave and this is Simply Soccer, where we are helping you improve your game and stand out on the pitch. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit that sub button and that bell icon so you don't miss any of the weekly content that we release. Now in this video, I want to give you some ideas, some practices, some things you can do right away to become a better striker in football. This is personally the position I play and have played for a very long time. So I'm going to give you some ideas that are just going to help you improve at this position. So this first area I want to go over is such an essential area, and it's sometimes overlooked by players and not worked on enough, but it's why some of the best goal scorers are the best goal scorers, and it's their movement, their runs. And this is often neglected because it's not the most glamorous part of the game. It's not the goal scoring part, although it leads to that. It's not taking players one-on-one. It's not doing those magical things you want to do in matches. But it's so essential if you want to get the ball more, get more opportunities, find space more frequently. Having proper movement, good movement, will also help you pull defenders out of position for your other teammates to then occupy those positions. So you want to make sure you're practicing a lot of different runs to get yourself in behind and also take players out of position when you are training. You know, one thing I always like to tell strikers is be in constant motion. Always be at least jogging from one center back to the other, finding different positions, kind of making the other opposition or making the opposition nervous. You know, you want it so their center backs never know what you're going to do. You want it so it's hard to mark you. You want to make the opposition's defensive players nervous because you're always in constant motion. You keep making those runs and eventually one of them is going to come off. Next is your finishing, shooting, and being a little bit selfish in this position. Look, one of the most important things you can do in this position is score goals. And so one of the things you need to work on heavily is your ability to shoot accurately with power and also your finishing ability. Now, there are plenty of strikers that may not get that many goals and they're still really great to their team, but it always adds to your value when you can score goals. You know, if you're a striker who scores goals, you will be valuable to any team that you play on. If you're scoring goal after goal after goal, it doesn't matter at what level, you know, if you're scoring goals, you are doing your job as a striker. Now, it's easier said than done. It's not a very easy thing to do. It's probably the hardest thing in football to actually do. That's why you need to work on your finishing and your movement, your shooting technique as often as you can. One thing I want to keep in mind, or help you keep in mind, is you need to be a little bit selfish as a striker. You need to be ruthless. You need to be the one that when an opportunity presents itself, you go for it. Now, I'm not saying be an incredibly selfish player who doesn't square the ball to his open teammate for a tap-in, but if you look at any of the best goal scorers in the world, you'll notice that they have a bit of a ruthless streak to them. You'll notice that at times when they could pass it off to a teammate, they go for goal themselves, and you need that quality if you want to be a very good striker. Now, I have some videos that are going to help you with your finishing, your composure, your shooting. Again, so essential. You're practicing this often. I will link those down in the description, and I'll put one that comes across right now. But again, if your finishing is poor and you're trying to be a striker or you are a striker, this is the first thing you need to work on because, again, like a striker who's not scoring goals, you know, you better be doing some amazing things elsewhere because if you're not scoring the goals, you're not going to be that much of an asset to your team. Another thing that's going to be huge for a striker is your mindset. And the reason for this is because, like I said, it's very hard to score goals in football for a lot of players. It's why goal scorers are some of the most valuable players in the game. And so if you don't have confidence, if you don't have the right mindset, you're going to find, even if you're very skillful, have good technique, it's going to be very hard to score consistently. You know, we see many players that are one-season wonders that go off and have an amazing season, but for some reason can't replicate that. And a lot of times it has to do with their mindset. Their confidence was great during that period of scoring a lot of goals, but then they went through maybe a goal drought, maybe they went through some patchy form, and they never were able to get that goal-scoring touch back. But if you look at the best strikers, the Henrys in seasons past, the Shearers, you know, players like Mo Mo Salah today, players like Jamie Vardy, who's been very consistent with his goal scoring. These players have this I'm always going to score mindset. They have this mindset of even if I go on a goal drought, I know I'm still going to score. I know it's only a matter of time. They don't let it eat away at them. They keep themselves positive. They know that and have faith in their ability to put the ball in the back of the net so that even when they go through that little slump, which inevitably happens to every player, they're able to bounce back from that and still score goals eventually and then go on another goal scoring run. So you need to develop the mindset, the mentality part of your game so that even when you inevitably go through these bad patches in form, you're able to bounce back and still score goals. So this next one's an interesting one, but it's something you observe with many great strikers, and it's their ability to turn on even if the whole game is passed them by. You know, there could be a whole game where the opposition has defended you perfectly for 88 minutes, you haven't had a shot on goal, you haven't even had a shot period, but then that one opportunity comes and you take it. You know, a great example I can give you of this is in the 2001, I believe, FA Cup final, Liverpool versus Arsenal. Michael Owen was kept pretty quiet the whole game. And then he got 2 chances towards the end and ended up winning the game for Liverpool 2-1. And that is the sign of an amazing striker because you could easily get frustrated, you're not getting the chances, you could blame your teammates like, why aren't you giving me service? Yet that one opportunity comes and you take it. You need to be an opportunist. You need to be that player that when the chance comes your way, you're able to do that even when the whole game has passed you by. It's similar to goalkeepers who, you know, could have a game where they had 0 shots on target, but then that one chance for the opposition presents itself, and they need to make sure they're still in tune with the match and turned on so that they can make that save. Same for you strikers. You need to be focused in on the whole match, even if it seems to be passing you by, even if you're not getting the chances, because you never know when that one chance will come, and you need to be attuned to the game and focused when it does. All right, guys, so that's what I'm going to leave you with in this video. Now, there is so much more to a striker's game, so I'm going to link down an even more comprehensive video I did on this topic, how to be a striker in football. If you want more information in there, I'm going to show you a little bit more of the movement and runs using professional clips. I'll also go over things like team play, hold-up play, things of that nature. So if you want more info on this topic, it's a great video to take a look at. All right, guys, question of the day is, do you play striker first and foremost? Let me know in the comments. And out of everything we went over, which is the one you need to work on the most to stand out more as a striker? Let me know down below. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this video. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you check out the other 2 videos I've left on screen so you can continue to improve your game and stand out on the pitch. Thanks once again for tuning into this one, and I'll see you in the next one.